Hello everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Cow. Today we are making part 2 of our 6-part playset, our baseball playset. Remember last time we had the first part, which was the doll. So this person that's clothed here is a bit like a sort of gingerbread stick person type figure. Very, very simple. Check out the playlist link in the description below for that. So we made the people and they were bare, they were naked and cold. So this time we have some clothes for them. So the pattern in the Facebook group, the written pattern, which you'll find a link to their Facebook group below as well. The pattern actually shows us lots of things in it. There are 2 different tops. This one has short sleeves, like so. And there's one for a sleeveless top. This is our pants or trousers. These are the long ones, and it also shows us some short pants or shorts as well. So there's 2 tops, 2 pants versions. There's a baseball cap, which I also mentioned in the video. Before you make this peak bill part of it, would make a cute little sun hat, just a little, or if it's for winter, a bobble hat. You could just make a little bobble for the end there, okay, or pom-pom, bobble, pom-pom, whatever you want to call it. So a little hat, and then there's only 1 version of the hat in the pattern, 2 of everything else, and there's a dress pattern. This is the flower dress. You can see these petals, and it's like this at the back. And there's also another dress which is a bit plainer. So 2 dresses, 2 pants, 2 tops, 1 cap. Everything's very versatile in how you can make them, how you can change them. This can become a waistcoat, little jacket. If you don't sew it up, you can use it this side with a number on it of your player. You can put coordinated stitching around it for your team colours. You can do what you like with it. You could even make longer sleeves by adding another round of stitches on here. We just did this 1 round. You could do a 2nd round if you like. Literally change it up as you feel. And if you don't want it to be for sports people and spectators, you could just make it just little people with little clothes, and that would be just as wonderful and lovely on its own. So we are going to get started, and I think I'm recording this at the end of the video, by the way. I've already made these with you on video, and now I'm recording this introduction. I think we start with these little pants. So grab your things and let's get started. Okay, so let me just wipe this. Okay, so we're going to make some trousers first. We have trousers or pants. I'm not sure what I'll end up calling them. I'm from the UK, so we tend to call them trousers, but just know that we're talking about the same thing. Okay, so first of all, we are going to chain 11. So just put my slip knot on the hook, and we're going to chain 11. Okay, and then we're going to join to the first chain and make a ring. Okay, so this would be just like when you make a small ring to do like a granny square, but this is a chain 11 ring. Okay, and then we're going to chain 3, excuse me, which counts as a double crochet, and then do a double crochet into the next chain, not the ring, but into the chain. Okay, so find that chain and do a double crochet into there, and then you're going to do a double crochet into each chain around, and you will finish with 11 double crochets. Okay, so you want to have 11 double crochets going around in the chains, not in the ring. Okay, and slip stitch to the top of your initial chain 3 to close the round, and I'll see you when I've done this step. Okay, so here are the 11 double crochets, and they're kind of sort of facing down from, this is the original chain, they're sort of facing downwards. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, 11 double crochets. So now what we're going to do is skip 5 stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then make a slip stitch in that next stitch. Okay, like so, and then turn the work around, and then we're going to chain 3, which doesn't count as anything. I know often it would count as a double crochet, but it doesn't. Then we are going to do a double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, so just pop your finger in between these layers and do a double crochet in that same stitch that you did the slip stitch. Okay, just double checking that I'm in the right place. Okay, then we are going to do a double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, like so. No, that wasn't quite in the right place. Let me do that one again. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to do a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So chain 3 is here, and we're going to do a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3. Okay. Then we are going to chain 2. And then we're going to do a half double crochet into the same stitch. So that's the top of that chain, a half double crochet into the top of that stitch, chain. Okay, and then just checking the pattern, and then we are going to do a half double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So that's the same 5 stitches that we had here. Okay, so continue round, find that first stitch there and do a half double crochet in that stitch, and then in the next, that's 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then the 5th. Okay, this one looks like a stitch, but this is where our original stitch is coming from, so that is not a stitch there. We're going to ignore that, and we're going to do a slip stitch at the top of the chain 2. So find the top of the chain 2 by your first stitch and do a slip stitch into there. So this is a little fiddly, but worth it. So do a slip stitch in there, and then you want to fasten off that, and that is the first leg. Okay, that's the first leg. You've got an opening here, and there's the leg of the trousers. First one. So now we need to do a leg on this side. So what we're going to do is join the yarn in the same stitch as the chain 3 that we did of that first leg. Okay, so here's our first chain 3. So this is where we finished, and here is our first chain 3. So we want to join the yarn in the same place, which is where that slip stitch happened. Okay, so in there, join your yarn however you prefer to join it, up to you. I'm just going to do what I've done recently and just tie it, start it. Okay, and then we are going to chain 3. Let me just get some more yarn. So chain 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the same stitch. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So that will be these 5 stitches here. So you'll need to turn this around to do this. And we're going to go into the first stitch. 1, 2, just like we did on the other side. You might need to pop your finger in between. It's quite small, a small space, but just wiggle your finger in there if you need to. So this is 3, and there should be 2 more. Now, if you find that somewhere your stitch count is slightly off and you haven't got 2 more, you've only got 1 more, then I am going to say, I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to put 2 stitches in this last stitch. I know that's not officially the pattern. Somewhere I have lost a stitch, but I'm just going to put 2 stitches in that last stitch, just so that the stitch count is now correct. Okay, don't worry about that. It will still fit. It will still work. If you really want to, you could undo your work and try and figure out your mistake. In this case, I'm just going to go with it and just leave it with those 2 stitches in 1 stitch, and say please accept my apology that I haven't done it completely correctly. Okay, so then we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So find the top of your chain 3, which is here, and do a slip stitch in there. And then chain 2, and then do a half double crochet in that same stitch, so in that same chain that we just slip stitched into, do a half double crochet. Okay, so now we're going to do 5 half double crochets, 1 in each stitch. So just turn your work slightly to find your first stitch, and then do your half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we are going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 2, which is just here somewhere. Sorry for being out of camera there, off the screen. So slip stitch to the top of your chain 2, which might be a bit fiddly. Okay, get there. We will get there. I've got this yarn which is so lovely, but if you frog it, undo your work, and then rewind it up again, it does sort of, it untwists and it becomes very stranded and splits. Not great. So then when you've done your slip stitch, fasten off just as you have done before, and snip. And there, if you ignore all the tails, there is a cute little pair of pants or trousers, depending on what country you're from. Cute, 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 cute. So I'm going to just quickly weave these ends in, and then I will show you what they look like on our little person. There we go. Now these are designed to be oversized and puffy. Leah has said they are designed to be oversized and puffy. So there we go. There are the pants. Cute, cute, cute. Cute, cute, cute. So there we go. Okay, let's give this guy a top. Okay, we're going to make the top. I will show you a second pair of pants later, but for now we're going to give him a shirt. Okay, so I'm going to take a contrasting green and we'll make him a shirt. Okay, I need to move this camera slightly, bear with me, because I'm not in frame so much. I keep moving my hands out of frames. There we go. Okay, so to make the shirt, you want to chain 15, okay? So go ahead and chain 15 and then meet me back here. Pause the video. 15 chains, there we go. Okay, now we're going to do a double crochet in the third chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet into that third chain, and then a double crochet into the next chain, and then chain 2, skip 2 chains, and then do a double crochet in the next chain. So skip 2 and then a double crochet, and this space creates an armhole. Okay, so that is our armhole. Then we're going to do a double crochet in each of the next 4 chains. That double crochet does not look quite right, does it? What have I done there? Let me just correct this. Double crochet. Okay, I don't know what I did, but there we go. Okay, double crochet in the next 4 chains. So this will be 5 altogether in this part. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then once again, chain 2. Skip 2 chains and then do a double crochet in the last 2 chains. Skip 2 and double crochet in the last 2. And this is making the second armhole. Okay, there we go. We've got the armholes. This will be the back, and then these will be for the front, these 2 ends. Okay, so next step is to get some more yarn. And here we go. Okay, so now we are going to turn our work around and chain 2. Move all that yarn out of the screen. It's a bit messy and confusing, distracting. Get out the screen. Okay, so chain 2 and then do a double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So that includes this very first one, which often gets skipped. So double crochet in each of those 2, double crochet in each of the next 2 chains, and that's into the chains, not the chain space. So double crochet into each of these chains. Okay, 1 and 2, and then double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one. Once again, double crochet into each of the next 2 chains. Make sure you're going into the chain and not through the space. So let's find that first chain, double crochet in each of those, and then a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And this is such a simple pattern for this shirt. Brilliant. Works up super quick and super easy. And then a double crochet into the top of the chain at the end. Okay. So there we go. And then we're going to fasten off. Oops. Pulled that a little too tight there. There we go. So this is what we have so far, and this would make a great little kind of waistcoat. You could just pop this on. This is not the pattern, there is more to come, but you could just pop this on, and that, as it is, would make a cute little like waistcoat, sleeveless jacket. So that on its own could be a thing, but it's not. This is a shirt, and a shirt has sleeves. So yes, we are going to make some sleeves. Leah has been so clever and creative with this. So we are going to make the sleeves, and so we're going to join the yarn in any chain of an armhole. So let me just get this the right way round. This way. This way. Okay, so make it, let me check the pattern first and then I'll get back to you. Okay, I've checked the pattern. Right, so if you turn your work upside down, so we've got the original starting chain here, and then you're going to just turn it around the right way, and then make sure you've got the front side of the stitches facing you, and then join your yarn into any of these 2 chains here. Okay. So join your yarn and then chain 2, which will count as a half double crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to do a half double crochet in each chain. So half double crochet in this chain we've just joined into, and then a half double crochet into the next chain. Make sure you're going into the chain and not the space. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to do two half double crochets into the side of each double crochet. Okay, so we are going to do 2 double crochets in the side of this half double crochet. Sorry, 2 half double crochets in the side of this double crochet. So I'm going to do 1 in the top part here, and then I'm going to do 1 lower down. Let's go into the side part of the stitch. Let's go under a loop or 2. Oops, that was 1 stitch, wasn't it? There we go. I'm getting confused on my count. So we've done the chain 2 and then a half double crochet in that same chain, and then a half double crochet in the next chain, and then we've done 2 half double crochets in the side of the double crochet. Okay. And then we're going to do a half double crochet in the top of these stitches down here. Okay, so half double crochet into each of these stitches down here. And then a half double crochet, 2 half double crochets in the side of this double crochet on the other side of the hole. Okay, so just do one inside, just catch a loop from the side of that stitch and do a half double crochet, and then further up make a half double crochet by catching a loop. Now I apologise for being a bit sort of stop-starty and checking the pattern, but I haven't had a chance to really practice this, just for different reasons. I haven't had a chance to practice, so we're making it up together as we go. Making the pattern up as we go, and making the work up as we go, not making the pattern up. Leah's already done that. Oh dear. Ever had one of those days when you think you should just start all over again? But we're not going to, because we've already done some good in making these pants. So let's continue, and I'll try and get the right words out. So we've done all those half double crochets, and what we're going to do is now slip stitch to our beginning chain 2. Okay, so find the chain 2 and slip stitch in the top of that chain 2. Okay, and then fasten off. Once you've joined, slip stitch and fasten off. Oops, that's my yarn splitting again. Oh, this is an interesting one today, isn't it? Interesting, me and my yarn and my failings. I just want to show you that none of us are perfect. Okay, fasten off. And that is one sleeve done. Okay, so here we go. It's only a short sleeve. We've only got a little purse in, so there is a little sleeve, this little part here. Okay, so we're going to do that for the other side. So join your yarn into one of the chains. So this one does have quite a lot of ends to sew in, but worth it, worth it, worth it. Oh, I need to tie that yarn. What am I doing? Tie that yarn. Okay, so let's whistle through this. So join your yarn in one of the chains of the other armhole. Chain 2, half double crochet in that same chain, and half double crochet in the next chain. 2 half double crochets in the side of this double crochet. One and 2. Half double crochet in each of these stitches at the bottom. One and 2. And half double crochet into, sorry, 2 half double crochets into the side of this stitch. One and nearly 2. 2. Okay, come on yarn. Play nicely, play nicely. Okay, there we go. And slip stitch to your beginning chain 2. And fasten off. Oops, come on yarn. There we go. Fasten off. And then if you want to use a contrasting colour, so if you've got team colours, you could use the colour that you use with the pants or whatever. you can use a contrasting yarn to stitch a line along the front, so along the front, along here, and around the neck you could do a contrasting stitch. And you can also, if you have a number, you can do that number on the back. So yes, you can put a contrasting colour around the edge, or you could just leave it as it is. You could put a number on the back using that same contrasting colour, so the player number, or the age of the child you're giving it to. You could do anything you like, really. You can leave this as an open sort of jacket shirt. You could pop a little button on and use one of these stitch holes as a natural buttonhole. You could make it tie with the yarn, or you could sew it up. You could stitch the front together so that it makes a top that goes over, that you put over the head. Okay, so I'm going to sew these ends in, and I'm going to sew this closed. And I'm not going to do any contrasting stitching at the moment. I'm just going to leave it plain, okay, so that I can get on to the next part of the video with you in just a moment. So there we go. This little guy has his shirt on now. So I haven't sewn any contrasting yarn down here, but you can imagine if you did, it would really indicate that it was a shirt. But this could be one of your spectators as much as it could be one of the players. And if I show you the back, you can see how this shape of this top or shirt could be reversible. You could use that as the front, or this side where it kind of has this v-neck. So totally reversible. You could put numbers on the back. You could literally change it however you like, whether it's a player or a spectator. And you could put, like I said, a button on here, or whatever you like, really. So at least our little person finally has some clothes. And how cute, how cute, how cute. Love it. So I'm going to show you how to make the I'm going to show you how to make the baseball cap next. This is a baseball playset, but remember, you can use it for whatever you like. You can tweak it, change it to meet your preferences, but this is essentially a baseball playset, but just change it to suit your preferences. Okay, so let's move on to making the baseball cap. So I think I'm going to stick with these colours and use this dark green for the baseball cap. So grab your yarn and let's get started.